if you don't wanna see me. Did a full 180.
Hey guys, we're going to talk about inverse trig functions today. I know that might sound really scary, but I promise it's going to be hopefully easier than yesterday. I think they're easier because you can plug it all into your calculator at once, at least on Desmos or one of these fancy calculators, and you get your answer all together. You don't have to plug in multiple things, you don't have to multiply or be sure you're dividing. You just plug in one thing, you type it out exactly like it looks on your paper, and it gives you the answer. So we're going to talk about these. First of all, what they look like is they have this little -1 exponent, all right? They have an exponent of -1, and that is what tells us we're doing inverse trig functions here, all right? That's what inverse means about these, and what it's used is used to find a missing angle. So you're using inverse trig to find an angle measure instead of your side lengths. Yesterday we were finding a missing side, today we're finding missing angles, okay? The nice thing is this all gets set up the same exact way as we've been doing it, all right? So we label our hypotenuse across from our right angle, right? Across from our right angle is the hypotenuse. Across from our given angle, here it's x, is our opposite, which means right next to x is our adjacent. So to set up the trig function, which sides do I have? I have adjacent and hypotenuse, which tells me I'm using cosine. So we set up cosine of our angle. Today our angle is x. We're solving for our angle. We're trying to find it. Cosine of x equals adjacent over hypotenuse 12 over 28. From there, we're taking the inverse. We have to use this. Think of multiplication and division. Division undoes multiplication. Subtraction undoes addition, right? And so to undo our trig function, we have to use the inverse trig function. And just like if we had, say, x over 12 and we multiply by 12, they cancel out and we get rid of them. Same thing here, we're gonna take the cosine inverse. I'll do this in a different color, sorry. Man, just like class, I still am dropping my expo markers. So, you take the inverse of this trig function here, and you know what happens? We get rid of it. It goes away. So all that you actually have to do today is we get rid of the trig function on the left and we write the inverse function on the right. So cosine -1 on the right side. So we get rid of the trig on the left, we put it on the right as the inverse function, and from there, this gets plugged into Desmos. You can plug in cosine -1 inverse. Don't multiply by -1. Make sure it's an exponent. They have a button. I have a whole tutorial. Check it out in Classroom. Cosine inverse, and then do parenthesis 12 divided by 28. Parenthesis, you'll get your answer. I can plug it in on my calculator, so that's how I'm going to solve today. So we do cosine inverse 12 divided by 28. And if you're doing this on Desmos at home, you should get an answer of about 64.6. And we're going to round to the nearest whole number, so we'll do 65 degrees, okay? If you're having questions, make sure you reach out to me. I'm going to do one more example, and then I'll put a video with other examples that you can check out. Or if you feel confident, you can get to work and try it out now, okay? Example 2, same thing, we want to label our sides. So across from our right angle is the hypotenuse of 13. Our reference angle is down here this time, making 10 our opposite because it's across from our x, our angle here. Making this side adjacent, we don't have it, so it doesn't really matter. What two sides do we have? We have opposite and we have hypotenuse. You remember opposite and hypotenuse goes with sine, you're right. So you take sine of your angle x, and it equals opposite over hypotenuse, 10 over 13. All you got to do is take your inverse of the right side. Inverse of 10 divided by 13. Plug this into Desmos now. Go there and do it. Pause this video so that you can do it. Or if you're quick, you can do it while I do it. sine inverse of 10 divided by 13, you should get an answer of approximately 50.2, or we would just round that to 50 degrees here, all right? That's how we're doing inverse trig. Like I said, I've got another video showing you more examples. Check that out if you need it now, or you can start working on your assignment. And if you're still having some troubles, check it out then. If you're struggling and just can't get it from the videos, contact me, reach out only after you've watched your videos, okay? Thanks guys, have a good day.